Hello and welcome to day 171 in this quest for a 2000 rapid chess rating on chess.com. So let's find an opponent and begin. All right. Will we have the white or black pieces? We have black against an 1800 player, so it should be a tough one. Let's see here. Okay. I must have regained some rating points. Maybe somebody was caught cheating. Okay, I'm going to play the Caro-Kann. Let's see what they do. Yeah, because I was at 1741 and I jumped up to 1721. So somebody must have been caught cheating, it looks like. All right, do I go after this pawn? Or do I pin the knight here? All right. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and capture. That way we keep things moving along here. All right. Now we can pin that knight. Actually, I'll go here and attack. So if we do that, that'll open things up here. Now the question is, let's see. I think we're fine. I think we just develop this. So we just go there and then we're ready to castle. Huh. Interesting. All right. Probably just need to block. So we'll go ahead and block there. Huh. I don't think that's a great move. So now that they did that, if he casts, okay, he decides to capture. The question here is, do I capture with the bishop or my king, and then I'm able to castle if I want to? I think maybe we could even bring our king forward, stay in the middle. I mean, it would make sense to castle, so that's the two options. Capture with the bishop and then get ready to castle. Or do I capture with the king and then I could bring my bishop up, but then his knight might be able to jump into the game. So I think we'll go ahead and capture that way and preserve our ability to castle. All right, now what? Yeah, that's kind of curious. I think my rating was at 1714 after my last game. All right, should I go after the bishop here? That is a possibility. If we go after that bishop. So we'll go ahead and do that. It allows us to develop and attack at the same time if my opponent takes, that'll just help undouble my pawns. The problem is, okay, so he's just going to drop back. I might as well capture. Then, yeah, that, if I go ahead and capture, maybe I want a castle. I have to bring this knight out though. So, what now? I think, see, this knight could be a problem. So, let's go ahead, attack, because his knight could jump into here. All right. Probably don't want to give up that bishop pair unless I have to. I should develop the knight. This is the only place I can go. So do I bring that knight up there? Maybe. Or do I go? I don't want to put the knight on the edge. So probably bringing the knight up to the center is better. All right, there, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now the problem is if his knight jumps here and puts pressure on this with the rook, and the bishop, that could be an issue there. So what should we do next? All right. Let's think here. Do I want to bring this knight up here? If I do that, attacking, if he captures, then I could recapture, but then his knight could land up there. So knight here, if he captures, then I capture, he could chase my knight away and get this pawn. So let's just go ahead and knock his bishop out of there. Okay, now we should push this up. But do we need to do that right now? Probably not. See, if his knight jumps here now, that's not really doing much. All right, we're going to go there. Bring our other rook over to the center. Okay, now his bishop can develop. So we need to probably bring our bishop up there. But where would be best? If we go here, that might work. All right. I guess we're going to go there. Then our rook can grab the open file. Well, I can also move my king up. So maybe that would work as well. I could even think about bringing this knight up. Okay, so there we go. There we have it. Well, now I can just push this up here to prevent his knight from moving forward. Okay. All right. Well, now I need to go there. Prevent any surprises on that pawn, with his rook down there. Okay, do I attack his knight now? That's a possibility. Attack his knight, I think. Should I attack his knight? But then he could check here. But I could just move out of the way. So here we go. What now? What now? My time is kind of looking slim here compared to my opponent. Okay, what could they do? If they want to keep the knights on the board because it's it's less likely to be a draw with knights in the end game. You have more of a chance to win if you leave a knight on the board. He could just jump his knight up here. He could drop his knight back to here and then try and fork up here maybe. Yeah, and my knight is kind of running out of room. And also, we have a pawn majority over here. He could push the D and C pawn, try and get a passed pawn in the center, in the end game. Whereas my pawn majority over here, I have these doubled pawns. Now he has the doubled B pawns and I have the doubled F pawns. It'd be harder to get my pawns through over here, but I don't know. The end game with these pawns might favor my opponent. And I'm not sure why they're taking so long here. You know, am I missing something? Now, what I have to figure out is if he captures, you know, if he just decides to capture, do I capture with the pawn? That's probably better. If I capture with the pawn. Okay, so he did what I kind of thought he would do. He just, you know, jumps over here. Now the knight can just go here. You know, and attack my bishop. All right, I should probably centralize my rook. That's a fairly important step here. So bring this rook to the center. I think that's what we need to do. I have to make sure my knight doesn't get trapped, though. All right, let's take a look at this. Will my knight get trapped if he attacks it? I mean, I guess I could just drop back here, but I have to watch out. If his knight comes forward, my bishop can drop back. What if his knight tries to come in there? I think we're good. All right, we'll just centralize. Okay, the check. All right, we could just block. So I need to be careful here. If I block, or my king could just move. But I don't want this knight to be trapped. Should I attack? So if I go back here, he could reposition his bishop up there. And I guess I could drop my knight back and attack him. So let's just go there. All right, what shall my opponent do here? Okay. All right. Sorry if I'm not talking sometimes. I get so focused that I'm trying to figure out what I should play. All right. Maybe he's trying to figure out whether to bring his knight forward. Okay, so he did what I thought he would do. Now I can just attack his bishop by dropping my knight back. Oh, but he could capture me. If I go here, he attacks. Oh, that's not looking so good. So I probably just need to keep attacking his bishop. Huh. All right. All right. Well, I can ignore him. I mean, I guess I could just move my... Okay. This is getting tricky. Maybe I'm seeing ghosts here. Do I move forward? He could attack me. But then what do I do? Hmm. All right. Do I drop back and attack him? If I go here with my knight, attacking his bishop, he could take my rook. My king would have to go after that rook. Then he could check me with his other rook. And it's not looking so good. So, do I attack with my pawn? Maybe. Maybe I attack with the pawn. Do I bring my king up? If I bring my king up, then what do I do? All right, I guess we're going there. We have to activate that king. If he attacks my knight with, I don't know, with a pawn, then I would have to run here, go back here. Oh my gosh, that's probably not looking too good. All right, so he does attack. So what now? I just go ahead and move. Just go ahead and move. All right, he's really trying to trap my king. All right. Do I go after his rook? No, I think I need to retreat. Need to retreat back to there. But now his knight could jump here, causing some issues. He would be targeting this. Of course, I could drop back and defend. Yep, there he goes. There he goes. All right. All right. Whew. He may have gotten me here. Let's see, because he's going to target both these pawns. Do I push forward? Oh no, I have to watch out for this move right here, so I kind of have to go here. I guess that's what I have to do. All right, okay, whew. I guess that saved me. All right, what now? We chase his knight away, perhaps. But then he can go here. So maybe we have to bring this other pawn up. Okay. Oh, now he's going to threaten to go there. Oh, this guy's just sneaky. Sneaky. All right. Well, guess we can't go there. We can't move that. So he's just going to jump into there. This is not so good. Not so good. All right. That knight is going to jump right in there. All right. We need to keep that knight out of the position. So we'll go there, keeping his knight out of that outpost. We can even threaten to just push forward, chase his bishop even more. I'm so low on time. This is awful. Okay, I probably need to push this pawn, chase his knight away. Then I need to figure out how to get my knight into the action. All right, hopefully they'll burn some time off. If I can just hang in there, where their time starts getting low, maybe they'll have a little bit of problems thinking, because I don't know, sometimes they're thinking a long time for logical moves. So, and like I said, I had a 17-14 rating, so somebody must have got caught for cheating that bumped my rating back up. So maybe I can figure out who that was. It's been a while since I've done a cheating video. All right. What now? What now? Well, we'll go there. Then we can try and chase that knight out of there. All right, if I chase the knight, I'll be able to trade off the rooks. The problem is he could capture with the bishop and leave the rook on this open file, which might not be so great. At least now we can try and push this F pawn forward and chase his knight out of there. So if his knight goes here or here, it would probably go back here, I guess. And then the knight could try and jump back in the game by going here. All right, what now? He could just try and double up rooks over here. He might try and push this pawn, unleashing an attack here. But then that would give me time. Not really. He would be able to attack. All right, my opponent's doing a lot of thinking now. So now we can just go after the knight, I believe. So we'll just go after his knight. Okay, that gives us time to get rid of the rook. So we'll get rid of that. Grab the open file. Now, he could just move back over here. All right, I think we'll just trade off more material. Usually you don't want to get rid of these rooks, but I don't have much time to think, and I don't want him causing problems over here on the A file. So now I need to get this knight up and into the action. So let's do that. Can try and go after his bishop. If I could knock out his bishop, then see, his best move is probably to jump his knight in here or here to put it on this outpost. That would give me time to target his bishop. All right. Well, okay. Well, now we can go after his bishop, I think. So let's do that. So his bishop is pretty much trapped. So we could capture his bishop, and then once so we capture his bishop, he recaptures, then we can start moving those pawns up over there. All right. So we just get our pawns moving on the to try and get a passed pawn over here. All right. Now what? Now what? Do I push this forward? So now I have a threat of going here with my bishop and then picking off his knight if he tries a pawn move. Okay, he did not. So I can still chase that knight, but I might as well just go here to stop him, stop his knight from being able to move forward. So now I can push this pawn up and chase his knight back. All right, if I attack his knight, where's it going to go? It's got to go back here. So that's what we'll do. We'll chase his knight. He's going to probably go back to there. I have to protect by going here. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Let's go after... Ah, can I do that? I'm running out of moves here. Got to go there, I think. I don't know. This is not looking too good. If I had more time, I could try and figure all this out, but he's probably just going to push. If I take, his knight can jump in there, attacking my bishop. Oh, but if he does that, I might have to drop back. No, I can't. I have to take, and then he could take this pawn. Oh, man. I mean, I still have the option to attack his knight, though, and take his knight. So, but do I want to do that? All right. Well, now I capture. Oh man, do I run? Do I run with that pawn? I ran out of time. Yeah, I just didn't have enough time to figure all this out. So apparently I had a chance to hang in there with bishop moves. He just ran me out of time. So what could I have done? Apparently a bishop move would have been best. Bishop to d6. The problem is this pawn. Okay, let's just do a quick game review. Yeah, that time trouble got me there. So, all right, my opponent played at 89.8% accuracy. I played at 89.1. I had one great move. Man, it says they played at a 2250 level and I played at 2300. If I didn't run out of time, which was awful. Okay, so I had 3 inaccuracies, or excuse me, they had 3 inaccuracies, I had 4. They had 2 mistakes, I had 2. They had 2 missed opportunities. So it looks like we both had 100% accuracy in the opening. My opponent had 90% in the middle game. I had 91, 82.4 in the middle game for them, and 78.4 for me. So I didn't play the end game, I guess, as well as I could have. All right, so quick computer check here. So Caro-Kann, they decide instead of placing both pawns in the center to bring this knight out. And here it looks like, all right, they're playing the 2 knights attack. So the best thing to do here apparently is maybe capture with the pawn, which I did. So they recapture, of course. And now knight to f6 appears to be best. And here queen to e2 would have been a better move. Because then they have a threat of capturing, and I would have to capture towards the center, or I would have to capture their knight, their queen would recapture, and then I would try and bring the other knight to d7 and then f6 and chase their queen. But in the game, they captured. So now I recapture, opening up the center, and bishop develops. So here, bishop to d6. We're still in book moves. Queen checks apparently is best. Still a book move. Now queen blocking is the best thing to do. And here, castling. So maybe castling is best for them. But they capture. Now it's saying that's best to go ahead and capture. Here I wasn't sure what to do. It says it's even. I captured with the bishop, but apparently I should have kept my king in the center there. And I thought about doing that. You know, I could have captured with the king, then maybe brought my bishop up to attack their bishop. So maybe that was the better way to go. You know, capture with the king, and then, yeah, then I guess I could have brought this bishop up here to attack their bishop. You know, if they castled, they recommend a4, gaining space on the queen side, you know, or castling. If they castle, then, oh wow, they recommend rook to d8. Bringing my rook to d8 or e8, either one I guess is okay. All right, so in the game, I capture with the bishop. We have castling, although they like d3 better to immediately bring out their other bishop or have it open where it can develop. So I go here and attack. Apparently immediate castling would have been better. So they drop back. Now the recommendation is, knight to a6. Okay, but I go the other way. It says that's still okay. And now, I should have played knight to c5. Is that what I did? No. So the move I was thinking about would have been better. Not much better. It looks like either way works. But yeah, I could have gone back here. If they captured, then my knight could recapture and keep his knight out of that square right there. So maybe that would have been a better way to go. But I trade this way. Yeah, and that opens up the file for him. So then I was worried about that open file after that. Now that move, it says that's good. But knight to c5 would have been better. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I could have gone knight to c5 and then back here, unless they tried to stop me first by bringing their knight up. So, all right, finally they play that d3 move, but now d4 would have been better. I get my bishop up, but apparently a6 immediately would have been better. So the knight comes forward. Now we have g6 is what I ended up playing, when I should have just brought my rook to e8, bring the rook to the center. So I started pushing pawns, probably not so good. All right. If I would have brought my rook here and they captured, I guess, yeah, my king could have just recaptured. And if the knight comes forward, my bishop could drop back. Yeah, rook d8 would have been better. I need to work on developing my pieces, like getting all my pieces active. Because sometimes I start some operation or move too many pawns like this before all my pieces are active. So now they're threatening this pawn with the rook. Or are they really? I don't know if there's a whole lot they can do. King to c7 is recommended. Instead, I push that. It still says that move's all right. So now, what? Rook to e8 once again is a good move. So that's an inaccuracy. Now it's even saying king to e7 would be better. So then knight to d2, and then a rook comes to the open file. All right, but in the game, I bring my knight up. So there's another example where I'm moving pieces before I get my rooks into the game. You know, not good. What now? See, now they don't like that, and my opponent has over a pawn advantage equivalent. So knight to d7 apparently would have been better, because now my knight's blocking my bishop. It's just not so good. So check. So this is a mistake. Apparently knight to e4 would have been better, immediately attacking my bishop. So if knight to e4 was played, I would have to play what here? I'd have to protect that doubled pawn, I would think. They recommend rook to e6, saying that would be even better. All right. In the game, we had this. Bishop blocking is the best way to go. Now, apparently bishop to d4 would have been even better. So b6. Oh, and I thought about that in the game. Did I end up playing that? No. Maybe later. I thought I All right, yeah, I think later I attacked that bishop. But king to d7 was played, and yeah, this just lets him chase my knight all around. Apparently b6 in the game would have been about even if I would have done that immediately. Then they recommend bishop all the way back to or no, to e3. Yeah, I guess that's what I should have played. All right, anyway, I bring my king up. They start attacking my knight, but that's a missed opportunity. Knight to e4 would have been even better. So if we look at that, knight to e4 once again. Now you're targeting this. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is not good. I would, what? I'd have to bring my... Oh man. Yeah, the best thing here is rook to g4 apparently. So, yep, I let my pieces get in each other's way. All right, so we go there. We're attacking this pawn with the bishop and the knight at the same time. So they just chase the knight away. Knight retreats. Now the game's about even again. You know, white has a slight edge. Finally, that knight jumps up to the center here. So now, you know, they're threatening that. I drop back to protect, which is best. And bishop drops back, you know, allowing the knight room to come in here. So b6, finally I played that, and it's best. And the game, you know, is still pretty even here. So here I should have played a5, it looks like. But instead I moved the other pawn, which is still okay. All right, now what? Rook to e6 is recommended. Instead, I attack the knight. Knight drops back, but apparently knight to c5. Oh, wow. Knight to c5 is recommended. That is actually better. Check. King up to d8. Because I don't want to capture here. If I capture and he recaptures, then my king would have to run and my rook would be captured on e8. So what now? Knight. Well, here they're recommending king to d8 as the only good move. And what then? Knight to b7. Check, and it would be what? A perpetual check by going back and forth here. Yeah, it looks like it would just be a perpetual check back and forth. All right, in the game, they drop back. I capture, which is best, and now I have an advantage. So black is ahead here. Knight to e7 would have been better to get that knight more quickly back in the game. Yeah, so that's probably not best, getting rid of my rook. Another thing I have to work on. Sometimes I trade off too many pieces when I shouldn't be. Okay, so here the best thing is to capture. King captures. Knight to e7 is best. Now here, knight to d5 is good. a5 is a little bit better even. Okay, I capture, and that's an inaccuracy. Now white has a slight advantage. Apparently b5 would have been even better. Oh, that would keep the knight from coming forward. So, yeah, here they're saying I should play b5 to keep his knight out of the game. So I go here, and now his knight is going to be able to get into the game. Man, yeah, so white has the edge now. So we have a mistake here. Apparently, I should ignore that pawn under attack and just push here and get a passed pawn. Or play f4. But then both of these pawns would be under attack. So, what should my opponent have done? They should have played knight to b2 to help stop, a passed pawn threat over here. And then I should just play, what, c5? Huh. c5. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, I guess. It would help me maybe activate my bishop more if this pawn were to capture. If I go there and then they capture, my bishop could get into the game more and my king could come up. So in the game, we had knight to e3 here. Apparently, I should have played a4. Then they capture. I capture. And their best move is c4. Then what? King to e6. c3, allowing their king to come up over here and stop my passed pawn. Now f4, knight blockading the passed pawn or getting ready to. Yeah, so something like that in the game would have been about even. So in the game, we have this inaccuracy by my king. They push this pawn. And apparently I should have immediately attacked the knight with f4. And instead I bring my bishop up, which was a mistake. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so apparently I should have attacked with that pawn. Instead, they could have gone here. My king would have gone to where? d6. To help defend everything. One problem is this. Knight to f5 check. What? They recommend king to c5. What about this pawn pushing forward and attacking? That looks really dangerous. So that... now knight to d4. Huh. What if they played that? Oh, they can't play that, sorry, because I can just capture. Well, hold on. If I go there, the best thing is to first capture that way. And then I'll have the passed pawn. Okay. Not capture with the bishop first, because then they could capture over here. All right, so that's bad. Where were we at here? If we go back. So the best thing here is knight to d4. You drop back, targeting this. But then that allows capture with check, pawn captures, and now I have to move my bishop because there is a fork threat here. So bishop where? To b6 or e5. I would probably most likely go that way because now I'm threatening the knight. But now that's possible. So that's not looking too good. I do have the passed pawn on the run. So c3, a3, the pawn is running. Knight to d4. But can I capture that? No, because they would capture with check. So f3. Oh my gosh. I mean, what if I played that? The knight could just run up there with check. So that wouldn't be so good. I mean, so then there's knight to b3, and that's not very good. It blocks the pawn and checks me at the same time. All right, so that doesn't work. The best move apparently is f3. And they still like that knight to b3 check move. They also recommend just capturing the pawn. I start running. Now they have to play knight to b3 to stop that. My king would have to run. The king goes after the pawn. And now what? h5. So this is how the game could have gone. Now they're going after that. f5. So I try and get my other pawns moving. The king could just go ahead and capture, but then I'll get this pawn. So they recommend f4 here. Man, yeah, this would just be a crazy continuation. All right, back to the finale of the game. I make a mistake putting that bishop up there. My pieces are uncoordinated, so that's a missed opportunity. It would have been better to capture. Oh, to just go that way and have a passed pawn. Then what? Bishop to b8 to get down here and try and block. But they would be winning at that point. So in the game, we had that. The best thing is to... Oh, and this is where I ran out of time, apparently. So it would have been better here. The game could have continued with bishop to d6. Apparently that's the best move. Then king up to d4. Get that king activated. Then we have capture. King captures. And what then? King up to e5. Knight to e3. Anyway, this would have been better than what happened in the game. Okay, feel free to leave comments, like and subscribe to support the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and have a super chess day.